to the Level 1 introductory course for movement. My name is Tony Bach, and I'll be instructing this portion of the class. You are likely at this Level 1 training class for one of three reasons. The first is you work for a company that sees enough potential in you that they're willing to invest the time, money, and resources towards advancing your career in operating your own spray foam rig. Two, you are adding a spray foam division to your existing roofing company. Or three, you're just starting your own spray foam business. Before I jump into it, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've owned and operated a spray foam business since 2015. We've done small residential roofs to large commercial roofs. We have done small backyard pond waterproofing projects to confidential government projects. I've spray foamed with my rig safely on the ground, and I've sprayed foam with my rig suspended by a crane hanging several hundred feet in the air. I've gone from $0 in annual revenue to millions of dollars in annual revenue. And I don't say any of those things to impress you. I say those things to impress upon you that more than likely there's things that I know that you may not know yet. Now, that's mainly just because I paid the dumb tax. I've been doing it for over 10 years.
Very good.
Whatever success that I've personally had in business or in this industry is primarily due to my own stubbornness, but also learning the things that I need to know. The most important thing that I've learned in being in this industry is to just keep moving, regardless of the circumstances. And I attribute that approach to finding any success and navigating any failures. And essentially, that's the seed from which movement has sprouted.
Sure.
And if you're not intimately familiar with your own equipment or the equipment that they're being asked to use, that you're being asked to use, how the hell are you supposed to know how to keep moving forward? I'd like you to imagine something for just a moment. Imagine that you're walking off of a jet bridge onto an airplane. You're going on a trip somewhere. And as you're walking through the door of the plane, the pilot is standing with the stewardess, greeting the passengers as they come onto the plane. And right as you're walking past the pilot, he bends down, peers into the cockpit, and says, "Damn, look at all those dials." Now, what would you do?
Stay up.
I know that I would be skeptical getting on that plane. I'm not going to fly with a pilot that doesn't know how to operate the equipment. And yet most foamers, most foam operators can't read the dials in their own cockpit. When something goes wrong, they're looking at the gas gauge and trying to figure out which altitude that they're flying at. Or they're looking at the altimeter trying to figure out which direction that they're moving. In my experience, most foam rig operators are off course, they're running out of fuel, and they're flying at the wrong altitude. So it's just a matter of time before they crash and burn and take everybody out there with them.
Yep.
Today, the foam and coatings industries, and most of construction for that matter, demands that we have a variety of skills and a high level of competency. Working in a foam rig, you have to understand the chemistry of the materials that you're installing. You must have the prowess of a mechanic to maintain and troubleshoot your equipment. You need to competently manage the manufacturing process to produce quality spray foam systems. And importantly, you must be adept in maintaining certain safety standards. So how can you personally achieve this? That's what we're going to show you. But this isn't your typical accreditation course. MOVEMENT.training is more of an industry-specific results coach. But instead of the coach, or instead of being one coach, we are a network of experienced and professional individuals providing support for one another, but also collaboration. And our primary approach is RPM.
The
R stands for results focused. Now, developing a clear result or an outcome is important moving forward, but it helps you identify the steps and the standards needed to achieve those outcomes. P stands for the purpose driven. We're purpose driven. Once you know the results, we, movement, provide you with the compelling reasons of why they are so important. Why the things that we're telling you and teaching you, why are they important, and how do they apply on your day-to-day job? Because when you become associated with the reasons of why you're doing something, it provides you the leverage that you need to create the results. And then the M stands for massive action plan. I like to call it MAP. And these will be a specific action set, specific actions that you need to take to achieve the correct outcomes. You need a map to navigate and execute in the field. So you take the RPM and take it to the field with you, execute on the things that you learn here during this course, and then you come back and discuss it amongst your peers and amongst your other professionals, and then movement collaboratively adjust the course as necessary so that you can capitalize on those mistakes that you made. But movement is also all about accountability. You're going to be faced with hundreds, maybe even thousands if you're in the industry long enough, of tricky situations that are going to be, they're not going to be clear. There's going to be several confusing obstacles that after 10 years, I'm even still approaching those. We're not going to prepare you for every specific situation. There's not a foam and coatings class in the country, let alone the world, that can do that. Each situation that you encounter in the field is going to be unique to your equipment. It's going to be unique to your climate. It's going to be unique to the amount of preparation that you've taken before the job is actually started. And as some of you already know, the pain of failure is going to be your best teacher. The moment you turn on a spray foam rig, you significantly increase your eligibility to fail. And these problems are likely self-induced, but they can also just be bad luck. What we're going to do here in MOVEMENT.training is to ensure that you fail well. That means being able to experience the painful failures as learning opportunities without totally getting knocked out of the game. Training will never replace the actual experience. After 10 years in business, that's the single most important thing that I've learned. You can't be 100% prepared. There's nothing better than real world experience, because real world experience, especially on a spray foam rig, simply put, looks a lot like this experience loop. If a problem presents itself on a foam job, you can't keep working until you troubleshoot and repair it. But once you've done that, you now have another tool in your tool belt so that you're better prepared the next time. Once you experience that, the best way to succeed in this group is just to take initiative. To maximize the value from this group is to take action and attempt to solve the problem yourself. The advanced tactics that you might learn from the more experienced members are totally worthless if you just can't do the basics well. One of our mottos is it's okay to make mistakes, but it's unacceptable not to learn from those mistakes.